So you might be wondering, if I wrote this song, why do I have to look at the words? So that I can make sure I'm saying what you're seeing. Because otherwise, I'll start saying something different every time I sing. As you know, you write songs, you know how it is. So sometimes what you wrote comes out of your mouth, and sometimes it doesn't. So just to make sure that you don't look at me like, what song is she singing? I write it down. So you already know who we are. We are Harmony Spiritual Center. We're a New Thought Center, which means we just get to change our minds. We get to think anew about what spirituality means to us, about who or what God is to us. We get to do those kinds of things, and we don't have to stick with whatever may have been with us as we grew up, and whatever ideas someone else had. It's about the ideas you have, because it's a relationship between you and spirit, or whatever you call that, which is greater than yourself. And we all have that. We are all individualized expressions of the one love. And we get to be in relationship with that one however we want to be in it. I call this spirit George because we're besties, and I talk to George all the time. So whatever you want to call God, a rose is still a rose. Doesn't make a difference if you call it a violet. Doesn't make a difference if you call it a daffodil. It's still a rose. Doesn't matter what you call it. So it doesn't matter what you call spirit. So last week I talked about 21 words. And it could be 21 words, it could be 15 words, it doesn't matter how many words you use. The point of the conversation was that we are always talking about, I'm certainly talking about, you cannot answer a question that isn't being asked. Because if you answer a question, you know, you're looking at someone, you see the issues, and you have an answer for them. But they haven't asked you a question. They're not going to hear the answer. But one thing that you can do to get people to maybe just be a little bit more open to your suggestions is just to tell them why you're telling them that. I'm telling you this because I see great things in you. I see that you're capable. I have high expectations of you, and I know you can do whatever you set your mind to. And so that's why I want to share this with you. That's why I want to put this into your heart. Believe in my believing. If you can't believe for yourself, I know for you already that you have great things in store. Great things are waiting. So however you want to say that's how you approach someone that you want to share something with that they haven't asked you about. And I really highly recommend that you don't. But if you're feeling like you do need to do it, just preface it with why you're sharing it. It's not because you know more than they do. It's because you believe in them. You know what they're capable of. And that's how we open that conversation if you feel like you really must open a conversation. So today I want to talk about ready for answers. Ready for answers. And here's the thing. The mere fact of you asking a question, if something happens, someone's saying something to me, Pat and I were in the room talking this morning, and I said, what do you mean by that? Tell me more about that. That means I'm ready to hear an answer that you have. So I'm ready for answers. When a question comes, that already indicates that you're ready for an answer. And so don't worry about questions that come to you. A question wouldn't come if there wasn't an answer available. Okay? So a question comes, why am I in here? Why am I doing that? Yeah, okay, good question for you. And when the moment you ask that question, answers are coming. Why? Because we are individualized expressions of the one love. When a question comes, it's coming from the God in you. Meaning there's an answer. There's never going to be a question there's not an answer to. So the question becomes, are you ready to move forward with the answers that come? Sometimes the answers that come are things you don't believe you're ready to do. You don't believe you're ready to take that step. Because a lot of times answers come and you think, well, how do I do that? How is that going to work? So let me take that off the table for you. The how is not your business. The how is never your business. And the reason why I can say that for sure is because the how is for God to put on your heart. And it doesn't, and here's what I know for sure. I've done all of this. Anything I'm telling you is because I've gone through it. And I'm not special. I'm a child of God just like you are. So anything that I'm going through, you can go through too. So when the question comes and you ask that question, well, how's this going to work? God is not going to say, well, first of all, do this, And then secondly, do that. And then third, do that. No. It's not going to come like a big old plan. You're going to get one thing. One thing. Take that step. And once you take that step, then the next one will be revealed because you are not ready for step 2. You're ready for step 1. So why would you think, well, okay, God, I see step 1. I see where you want me to go with that. But what happens after that? None of your business. Just take step 1. And once you get there, it'll be clear to you what step 2 is and how you can do it. So let me give you an example. All of you, I don't think there's a person in here that wasn't talking crap about my car that I had. My little, whatever that little, PT Cruiser, thank you. PT Cruiser. So first of all, it was a cute car when I got it. I'd had it a bit too long. So the paint was faded, and then a deer ran out into the road when I was coming across the highway, and there's a big old wreck on the side of it. It was leaking oil like a sieve, and my garage was just filled with oil all the time. And everybody's like, PJ, it's really time for you to get a new car. I was like, all right, well, do you have the new car money for me? Because I'd be more than happy to get a new car, but where is this coming from? But finally, I said, all right, clearly it's time for me to get a new car. So I said to Spirit, I said, okay, so I'm ready for a new car. And so Spirit said, okay, well, get rid of this one. Well, if I get rid of this one, how do I get around? No. You said you want to get rid of the car, so get rid of it. Fine. Okay. So I called this little place that, they take old cars and they teach kids how to rebuild cars. So I called them. I said, come get the car, with no idea of how I was going to get around once the car was gone. All right, so I did that. Okay, so I did that. And Spirit said, you haven't said what kind of car you want. Oh, I haven't, have I? And let me think about that. What do I, okay? So that was my next thing, to figure out what kind of car I wanted. And so I did. I said, well, I need a hatchback because I carry things around. That's what the PT Cruiser was. And I'm loving these Lexus. I'm seeing Lexus everywhere. They had just gotten a new one and just Lexus all in the parking lot. I said, oh, you must be telling me Lexus. So let me just say, a Lexus. Sounds good. Oh, that's it. I said, okay, well, done. Really? Because I'm still nothing in my garage, but okay. So I'm at dinner with some friends. Another friend calls, and I didn't answer because I was at dinner, and so I thought I'll just call him back later. I forgot to call them, and got home, and they called me back and said, "And listen, I'm getting rid of a car. I'm getting a new car. I'm getting rid of a car. Do you want my Lexus?" What? I'm sorry. What did you say? Yeah, I'm just saying. Do you want the Lexus? Thank you, God. Yes, I do. When can this happen? Tomorrow, if you want. Tomorrow it is. Okay? This is a true story. I'm not making it up. I'm not changing the story. That's exactly what happened. I didn't know anything except to make a choice. There was a question. Do you want a new car? Yes, I do. Okay, well, here's the step. Get rid of this one. And my hesitation was, then I won't have anything. Okay, that's the human thing. We can't see what God can see. We can't see it, but the God in us can. And so, again, the God within us isn't going to give us a whole lot, because how are we going to believe all of that? If the Spirit had laid all that for me, here's what's going to happen. I would have said, come on now. How's that going to happen? Not my business. So just take the one step you can. That's my advice to you. When a question comes, it's because there's answers ready for you. And the only answer you're going to get is one. Just one thing that's yours to do. Do that. Just do the one thing. I went to my sister's church. She said it's not a Baptist church, but it sounds like a Baptist church to me. But okay, they just call it something else. And so I go because the music is great. I actually love the minister. He's funny, and he just has and I get a lot of topic ideas from him. And so I was there listening to his talk, and he said, and I have a talk that's made up from this one. He said, when you read in the Bible, it says, step out in faith. He said, just change the word faith to, all of it, step out in faith. Take a chance. Take a chance. What have you got to lose? If you take a chance on God, if God is telling you something and you take a chance, that's what stepping out in faith is, taking a chance on something you can't see. You don't understand how this is going to happen because it's not for you to understand. What is yours to do is what God is telling you. There's I can't think of that show, but it's an old show with Broderick Crawford and Judy somebody, with a blonde girl, and she's always just living her little life and chewing her little bubble gum. And Broderick Crawford is her boyfriend, and he's always wanting her to do stuff. She goes, yeah, she doesn't do it. She's asking questions, and he always says, do what I'm telling you. Just do what I'm telling you. And that's what I hear. When Spirit is talking to me, and I'm saying, what do you mean? Do what I'm telling you. Just do what I'm telling you to do. That's what I would tell you to do. That's what these questions and answers are all about. If you already knew the answer, you'd already be there. You don't know. You don't need to know. Just trust that. Just have faith. So that's what the answers are. And one of the questions that I have, because I try to take my own advice, so that would be good, so I can talk with you. So I try to take my own advice and not work a whole lot of steps ahead. So when I'm working on something, the question I ask, and you can ask this question as well, what's next? What's next? So you take that one step and you just say, what's next? That's a prayer. If you're talking to God and you just say, what's next? You want to take a chance. Instead of saying step out in faith, because that feels like, what does faith look like? And there's a whole bunch, that brings up a whole bunch of questions. So instead, and for some people it does, maybe for those of you, some of you it doesn't, but for some people, what does step out in faith look like? It looks like taking a chance. It's not really, because God is going to show up for you just like he said he would, or she said he would, or however George said he would. But if you need a reason, just take a chance. How many of you have gambled? How many of you bought a lottery ticket? How many of you take a chance? Okay, we take chances. You get married, that's a chance. It may or may not work out. Okay, you get in relationships, we take chances all the time. But we don't want to take a chance on something we know is absolutely on our side. Take a chance on God. Just take a chance. God telling you, and the chance is, I think what the problem is that we're not sure. Is it the voice of God, or is it just me wanting something? Right? Am I talking myself into it, or is it actually Spirit? So do you know how you know the difference? You just ask. Spirit, is this you, or is it me? And Spirit will tell you, girl, that's you. I would never tell you to do that. Or, of course it's me. You can feel that it's me. So just ask. Show me, tell me, how do I know? It's you telling me to do something and not me just wanting something. And another way that I know is because it's telling me stuff I don't want to do. So that's a big clue. That is probably Spirit. Like, that don't even make no sense. So if I start arguing, it's probably Spirit telling me stuff. So what's next? For me, it just keeps everything fresh. I was talking with Jim, we were talking in the car about what happens as you get older. And for some people, I'm not going to claim it, because whatever you're saying you claim, I'm not claiming it, I'm just telling you what some people have issues with, is memory. As you get older, you worry that your memory is going. And one of the things that we do to increase your memory, or to make sure your memory stays the same, is to do new things. What happens is if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're not allowing your mind to expand. So that's why people are asking me, so why did you audition for the play? Because it's something new for me. She told me about it, so she's pointing at me, and I jumped on it. She did, yeah, it was great. But it was scary, because there's all these lines, and other people can't say their line unless I say my line. So it's dependent, and it was very scary. But it was so much fun. And I knew that was expanding my memory, to be able to do something new, to write songs, to write a story, to do something I've never done before, take a trip to Scotland, any number of things. I mean, maybe not go to Scotland, maybe take a trip to Dallas, I don't know. But just come out a little bit of your comfort zone and do something new, something different for you. That is how you expand your memory, or the possibilities of your mind, is to continue to challenge it to do new things. It's comfortable to stay and do what we know, but you don't think anymore. You just get rote and just start doing things that you know to do, and it doesn't expand your mind. So this is what we know. This is what Spirit told me already, told me to share with you. And so the point of the conversation, the point of this talk, how do we move forward? This is always the point of the talk. How do we move forward with our lives? What is it that God wants to share with us? What am I here to do? These are all the questions. But I tell you, you're here to do what you love. Every single one of us. It took me a long time to realize that what Spirit wants for you is something that is so easy and so simple for you and so much a part of you that you don't even think it's a gift. You're like, that can't be it. That's easy for me. You want me to sing? Doesn't everybody sing? Everybody sings. Everybody does. Everybody doesn't sing good. Oh, okay, all right. And so, I look at Pat. Pat is a genius. If you've not tasted anything she's made, she's a genius when it comes to cooking. She was just telling me something. What was it? Some onion soup it was. It's just like, what did they put in there? Tarragon? Fennel. Are you kidding me? I don't even know what fennel looks like. She's tasting it, going, what's and that's what her brilliance is. Every one of us has that. We have a gift. It comes so easily for us, we don't realize it is a gift, but it is. And that is where the joy comes from. So when we talk about what's next for us to do, it's what's next where your gift lies. Let your gift bring you the glory that you're here to be and do and share with other people. That's what we're here to do. That's all I wanted to tell you today. I think I had a quote here I want to leave with you.
But you have to believe it's possible. If you have resistance, that'll never happen today.
Thank you. No, you're exactly correct.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
You have to. I don't know any other way to do it, but to tell you to let go of your mind and let God in. Let that voice within you, it is there. You have it. It talks to you all the time, but you dismiss it. Because you think that you don't know how, but you do know how, so stop telling yourself that you don't. Tell yourself what you want. I have a great relationship with Spirit. Spirit talks to me all the time. It's easy and natural for me to talk to Spirit and to hear from Spirit. Claim your life. Because you're claiming your life when you say no. That can't happen. Well, you're right. Whatever you say, yes or no, it's correct. You understand? Spirit is just going to bring you what you're saying. So if you're saying, no, I can't do it, Spirit says, oh, you're right, you can't do it. I can't do that. Yes, you can. So it's up to you. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling your mind? Just because you haven't done it before doesn't mean you can't do it now. Just because other people, other women, other people your age, who cares what the other people are doing? It's not about other people. It's about you. It's about you. Just tell yourself you can, and God will say, yes, you can. And here's your first step, not the 15, the first. Do that one. And then you'll start convincing yourself by doing that. Thank you, whoever brought that up. Thank you, that's a great point. So I just wanted to, two quotes, one from Shakespeare. To be or not to be? That is the question. So what's the question? To be yourself or not to be yourself? That's the question. Do you want to be who you are? Then claim who you are. Just be you. That's what you're here to do. You're not here to be anybody else. That's why you have different fingerprints. Everybody has different fingerprints, yeah? Because you are individualized expressions. So do you. Don't look around and see what anybody else is doing unless they inspire you. You can be inspired by other people, but you can't be that other person. You need to be you. And the final thing I want to say, the one quote from Oprah. The best way to find out what you want in life is to try a lot of things. What do you want? Try a lot of things. You may not know, but you'll fall into something. Oh, boo, I like that. That resonates with me. I love being around. I love doing that, whatever it is. Just try a lot of things. If it doesn't work, it's not, even if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean it's not for you. Here's the clue. If you go to do something and you're like, I don't like this, that ain't for you. Okay? But if you want to go do something and you go, I like this, I'm not really good at it yet. I always say yet. I'm not really good at it yet. And keep going. Keep going. Do you think that the first time that when I said yes to this acting thing and I went to audition, first of all, I wasn't even clear about the audition. You know why I auditioned? Because my niece, and I talk about her all the time. Nyla, she's 9 years old. And we were on a cruise, and I had to send the tape in for the audition, so I was auditioning in front of her, and I was doing it and stuff like that. She goes, oh, that's what she said, 9 years old. She said, oh, you're going to get it. You were great. What? Okay. I'm going to believe in her believing. I'm going to believe in her believing and send it in, because I wasn't going to even send it in. But that's what she said. And when I told her that I got it, she goes, of course you did. 9 years old. Of course you did. Okay? So kids know. And so I listened to her and did that. So just try a lot of things. So it's not the question that's the important thing. What's important is the understanding that you get from asking and answering the question for yourself. That's where the power is. The power isn't in the question. The power is in you reacting to the question, trying to answer the question for yourself, and then doing what is yours to do. What's next? It's a great question to constantly be asking yourself. So you're wanting to do new things. Doesn't have to be big things, just new things. To keep your memory going, to keep yourself alive to all the possibilities. There's so much. This universe is abundant, and Spirit is waiting to bless you. When you just ask, what's next? So it is.